Hi, my name is Carrie Wigton, and I am currently a teacher, high school English at Ohio Virtual Academy. And I just want to take you through my course design for my unit that I chose. The reason that I chose this unit and the design of the course is to help individual students. That is my goal, to help individual students realize and reach their full potentials in learning and to help them succeed in that learning. How to do that is based obviously on individuals, building the relationships with those individuals, learning what helps them, how they feel encouraged, how they feel strengthened, confident, building that confidence for them, helping them build that trust with me. So I'm hoping that as a student were to open up my course, that they would feel that I am supporting of them, that they would feel that, oh, this is very well designed, this is easy, it is not confusing, I'm going to succeed in this course. I have designed it to meet the needs of individual students and their diverse ways of learning. I've included videos and links to different ways to do assignments, to learn more about the assignments. So I have that put in there for each individual, but I also am looking at this course as I have designed it, but if there are things that need improvement, I am more than willing to improve those, because I, again, want to do what is best for my students and help them succeed. I do not want there to be any confusion. I don't want there, because I do feel like if students open a course and they're completely overwhelmed at the get-go, what is going to motivate them to work in that course? So I do try to simplify that and take them through the course together as well. So I do teach ninth grade English. I teach at Ohio Virtual Academy, and the reason that I designed this unit the way that I did, or the topic that I chose, was the Edgar Allan Poe, The Telltale Heart. I feel like it is an incredible story. It keeps interest of students, but it also teaches different things that the students need to learn. It does address certain standards that a ninth grader needs to know, but it is also a very interesting story, and there are so many different angles that you can take on this. So I do feel like it's going to meet several needs of students, or interest several different students and their learning ways. It deals with organization. It helps them organize their thoughts. So I do have some assignments in here that help students organize their thoughts. So it addresses that standard. It addresses the standard of understanding character development. It addresses a standard of learning how to discern word meanings by just looking at a context. And the students may not have a clue about what a word means, but by reading context, they are able to discern the meaning of those words. And so that is one of the standards that is addressed here. And then being able to support anything that they learn or anything that they have inferred, they're able to support that with evidence. So those are just a few of the standards that this unit does address for a ninth grade student. One thing that I want to take you through is the logical. I feel like I've structured this logically, but again, I am open to any kind of advice on how to make it better. So I do want to keep that going as well. So I'm going to change it to the student view here. And I always love at first to welcome the students. I want a welcoming atmosphere. Number one, as they are coming into an online environment, it may be a little overwhelming. Some of the students are brand new to an online learning, to a new way of learning, I guess I should say, through the online system. So I want to just kind of form a welcoming atmosphere from the get-go. Even before they meet me, I want them to be able to open the course and feel very comfortable, and knowing that when I see Mrs. Wigton in a live session, I'm already familiar with her. I already know who she is. So I do always like to, at the beginning, I like to have a welcome slide and some welcome information, introducing myself to the students, letting them know, you know what, I am a real person. You may not see me in person, but I am real. So I just have, as the students open the course, I have a welcome page. And so I have a picture of myself there. And then I just give just a short snippet of who I am, how long I've been teaching, and something personal about my children, a dog. It seems to, and some of my hobbies, it seems to really connect with students. They see me as a real person, not just a picture or not just somebody online. So they do see that. I also like to let them know up front what am I as a student expected to do? What is expected of me as a teacher? Again, I feel like that is highly important. It takes a lot of confusion out. It takes a lot of fear out as the students are coming into a new classroom, into a new environment, meeting a new teacher. So I like to just go ahead and let them know what they can expect as a student. What do I expect them as a teacher, from them as a teacher? And then I love to make sure that they have every bit of contact information. Again, building that confidence, building that relationship with my students so that they know I am accessible to them. I am available to them. So I do put it on them, though, that it is their responsibility to contact me if they do have any questions. But I also make sure that I give them all of the ways in which they can contact me besides a live class session. So I do also give them a list of course activities. This is the way that you begin the course, or this is what you need to make sure that you're doing all the time. Every week, set aside some time to make sure that you're checking and reading class announcements daily, reading through the lesson content. Just some ideas here for them. And then I will also let them know what they need to do is they need to click on their modules. Their modules is where they are going to find all of their content, and that there are announcements every week that will take them through the course and what they need to do for that week. So I do want to draw the attention to that. So as I have designed the course, I have put the modules at the top so that they can see what they need to learn for that week. So what I have here is a Start Here lesson 1. So for all of the lessons that I have designed in this course, there is a Start Here page, which gives them, this is what you need to do. This is your pacing guide for the first lesson, days 1 to 10. What do you do right off the bat? I do like to use a lot of graphics that have some color to kind of draw their attention to that, so it's not so bland. But just so they know, here is their pacing guide. This is what you're going to do for this first lesson in the unit. So you have 10 days in this lesson. What are you going to do? How are you going to start this off? So this is just a reference for them. I also, something that I do like also is that when they go into the modules, they can kind of click through and look at what I have allowed them to see ahead of time. I just like to limit, though, how much they do see, again, so that they're not overwhelmed when they do come in to my course. So they will click on the modules. They will see the first page. And then at the end, I love the fact that this particular learning system, so this particular Canvas structure, that it does give a next button. So as a matter of fact, they can go through and they can just click next to see everything that they are allowed to see, everything that I have made available to them. And so I love that portion of this Canvas. I love that structure. So I do have learning goals for each unit or each lesson in the unit. So they're starting here, and then they have their learning goals. These are goals that they will be introduced to as well in the live session. But I love the fact, again, that you can go next and you can just click through the pages that you need to know. So here's the lesson 1, day 1 content, and this particular lesson, as we start the unit, this is the lesson that is going to give them an overview. In the live session, I will take them through these. We will do an overview of the entire unit. And then I have offered here the different links that we are covering, different videos, different links that they have that we are covering in the live session. But I also want them to know that if there is something that they miss in the live session, then here you go. Here's a link to exactly what we used. And this is what it looks like. So this is the lesson 1. This is an overview of the unit. And then specifically, we go through the narrative arc and the mystery and suspense of the writing. I also want to show you guys that I have in here in the modules, and I love to put this in here, is I have the lesson 1 class notes. I will have the lesson 2 class notes. So what these are the PowerPoint slides that I use in the daily classes so that the students can also reference that. They don't have to like literally take notes, but they have the class notes here in that particular unit or in that particular lesson. So these lesson class notes, they can click on that. They can click on the PowerPoint that I have here. It's a PDF, so they don't have to worry about Word documents or anything like that. They can just bring the PDF up and they can see those class notes. For lesson 2, what I will go up here to the module here. Lesson 2, so the lesson 1 is an overall view of just writing in particular and just kind of an introduction to Edgar Allan Poe, but not into the story per se yet. Here in lesson 2, again, we have the start here and the learning goals. And then we begin here in lesson 2 to introduce Edgar Allan Poe and his idiosyncrasies, if you will, and just begin to take from the Telltale Heart what we can learn. So pre-reading stuff, I love that, the anticipation guide. And then here, as we go through the story, in this particular lesson or this particular day of lesson 2, we have the Telltale Heart story questions. So these would be after reading stories and just some comprehension type things there, and then just a fun activity that they can do to prove or to not prove, but show their learning as, creating a bonus activity, a movie poster, something like that that is fun. I like to throw some fun activities in there to kind of break everything up. The major project that they will have some writing projects throughout the lessons, but the one thing that I feel like is really, it will draw the story into real life and kind of give them some fun in doing it, is to create a criminal profile. Because the one thing about Edgar Allan Poe and his story, The Telltale Heart, is he has murdered someone and he's trying to cover that up. And the police and the detectives come in at the end of the story, and Edgar Allan Poe is trying to hide what he did, and he confesses. But I think that what is interesting about this criminal profile project that I have given to the students is it lets them become the detectives and lets them take the pieces of the story and figure out, if Edgar Allan Poe had not confessed, would they be able to figure it out based on what you know about the narrator, what you know about what has happened in the story, and draw their own conclusions and just put everything together at the end. So do feel as if they are able to take everything that they've learned from a narrative to Edgar Allan Poe, and then to how to pull things out, pull information out, and make their own deductions, if you will, as far as that goes. I do believe that as far as the Canvas structure, I do like the structure. I like, as I said, I like the fact that they can click through and go next and next and next. Some difficulties that I did find in this is that you have to publish each page, so that can take a little bit of time. And then setting dates for assignments. Let's say you have to go through each assignment to set dates. There is not one particular place that you can go to click and I'm going to set the dates for all of these assignments. So you have to go through, and it takes a little bit of time. So I do think that with this setup, this LMS, again, positives, you can click through, and it is very easy for the students to open it and find what they need on this side of the page. But I do think it would be a little bit easier if there was a way to go and set bulk dates, if you will, and then also to be able to publish in bulk and not have to go through and publish each one. Again, my goal in designing this unit is to meet specific standards, but at the same time, keeping in mind the needs of individual students, individual learners, and trying to not overwhelm them. in their learning, especially as they enter into a possible new environment with a new teacher. So thank you so much for your time. And again, I am completely open to any type of restructuring that would make it easier on my students.